People said the road through the forest changed when it rained. Not the mud, that was expected. Not the fog, that came often enough. But the direction. Paths looped back on themselves. Clearings appeared where none had been before. And sometimes, if you were foolish enough to walk alone at dusk, you would arrive somewhere you were never meant to be. Marisol knew the stories. She walked the road anyway. Her skirts were hitched just high enough to keep from soaking in the puddles, lantern swinging gently from her hand. The scent of wet earth and crushed leaves clung to the air. Crickets sang in uneven rhythm, as though something kept interrupting them. She was bringing medicine to her aunt. Nothing heroic, nothing foolish, just necessity. Still, when the path forked where she was certain it never had before, her steps slowed. "This wasn't here," she murmured. The lantern flickered. Marisol turned left. The forest thickened almost immediately. Trees leaned closer together, their branches interlacing overhead, until moonlight filtered through in pale ribbons. Her skin prickled, not with fear exactly, but with the sensation of being noticed. Footsteps sounded behind her, slow, measured. Too heavy for a deer. Marisol stopped. "So," came a voice, warm and amused, "you chose the long way." She turned. He stood a few paces back, half-shadowed beneath the trees. Tall, unnaturally so, broad shoulders wrapped in a dark coat, rain beading on the fabric without soaking through. His face was handsome at first glance, sharply so, until her eyes lingered. His smile was too knowing. His eyes reflected the lantern light like polished obsidian. "You shouldn't follow people at night," Marisol said, gripping the lantern handle tighter. "You shouldn't walk alone," he replied gently. "Yet here we both are." Her heart thudded painfully against her ribs. "What do you want?" The stranger tilted his head, considering her. "You already gave it to me," he said. "Your attention." The forest shifted. Marisol gasped as the path behind her twisted, trees sliding into place like closing fingers. Panic surged hot and immediate. "You're doing this," she said. "You're the reason people get lost." The man's smile softened. "They don't get lost," he corrected. "They are led." He stepped forward, and the illusion broke. His legs bent the wrong way. Hooves, dark and gleaming, pressed into the mud without sinking. For a heartbeat, his shadow stretched taller than the trees, and the outline of a horse's skull flickered across his face before settling back into something almost human. Tikbalang. Marisol's breath hitched. She knew what came next. Mockery, madness, endless wandering until hunger or fear claimed her. Instead, he stopped a respectful distance away. "You're not afraid enough," he observed. "I am," she whispered. "Just not of you." That surprised him. Rain began to fall harder, drumming against leaves and lantern glass. The Tikbalang studied her, as if she were a riddle he had not intended to solve. "Say my name," he said suddenly. "I don't know it." "Then I keep you," he replied simply. The words should have terrified her. They didn't. Marisol lifted her chin. "And if I don't say it?" His gaze darkened. Something old and aching moved behind his eyes. "Then I walk you home." Silence stretched between them, fragile as spider silk. "Why?" she asked. The Tikbalang looked away, toward the deep forest where shadows thickened. "Because," he said slowly, "you did not scream when you saw me. because you looked at my feet and still saw me, because it has been a very long time since anyone chose not to run. The lantern trembled in her hand. You lead people astray, she said. That's what you are. That's what they call me, he agreed. Names are easy. Truth is harder. Rain soaked her hair, plastered it to her cheeks. She should leave. She should pray. She should do anything but stand here listening. Yet when he reached out, hesitant, careful, she did not step back. His fingers brushed her waist. The world lurched. For a breathless moment, Marisol saw what he saw. Centuries of wandering paths, laughter turning to screams, the slow rot of loneliness disguised as trickery, a creature bound to roads and thresholds, never arriving, never staying. She pulled her hand back, shaken. You're cursed, she whispered. His laugh was soft, broken. Aren't we all? The forest exhaled. The path straightened. Light appeared ahead, warm, human, real. My aunt, Marisol breathed. I can see her house. Yes, the Tikbalang said. You may go. She hesitated. Will I see you again? He smiled then. Not sharp, not mocking. Just sad. That depends, he said. Will you learn my name? She nodded. I'll listen, she promised. The Tikbalang stepped back into the trees, his shape blurred, elongated until only glowing eyes remained, and then even those were gone. Marisol reached her aunt's door just as the rain eased. That night, she dreamed of winding roads and hooves echoing softly behind her, of a voice that never forced, never lied, only waited. And sometimes, when she walks at dusk, the path bends gently to the left. She always follows.